Today, I'm sharing how we went about organizing this side-by-side freezer. Side-by-sides are great for arranging most frequently used items towards the top for easy access, and they usually have an ice and water dispenser built into the door. If you do not have a side-by-side freezer, last year we shared how we organized a standard top freezer unit, which is another very common type of freezer. A link to that video is in the description box below. There are a few organizational systems in place that worked well in this freezer and will continue to be used going forward. This includes the multi-purpose bins that store carby items and meat, as well as the built-in drawers located towards the bottom of the freezer, which holds the frozen fruits and veggies. The shelves that have meal and dessert items are what needed some attention. First and foremost, everything was removed from the freezer and it was wiped out with a disinfectant spray. I like starting with a blank slate. It makes it easier to envision how and where items are going to go, along with what organizational tools are needed. After it is cleaned out, I like to dry fit any organizational tools that were purchased to make sure they both fit in the space and look nice. This project didn't require too many bins, just a few acrylic divided containers, and of course the recycled multi-purpose bins. The fun part of every project is putting everything back into the space. Starting at the top of the freezer, the small unique section next to the ice maker is great for frozen meals or small containers of ice cream. We are going to use it for these fun skull ice molds. I mentioned in last year's video that my husband had purchased these for Christmas and I love them so much. They remind me of my favorite band, Avenged Sevenfold. They do lose their shape pretty quickly because of all the tiny details around the face. However, they do make me smile every time a beverage goes on the rocks. Also kept in this little section is the coffee. The first shelf is going to be designated for frozen meals. In this case, these are microwave meals, frozen pastas, and overstock soups that we freeze. We are getting in the habit of doubling soup recipes and freezing half to make dinner on other nights easier. Being able to just grab a meal from the freezer, letting it thaw out in the fridge during the day, and throwing it on the stove for dinner in the evening has been very convenient. The next shelf is going to continue to utilize these multi-purpose bins. These truly are all-purpose and double any vertical storage. They act as mini drawers for carbs and meats. The carb bin used to have a lot more items for the air fryer, however, we haven't been eating much of that lately, which is why that bin is so empty. I do wish that we were able to add another shelf of these multi-purpose bins. They maximize the freezer space so much. Below that is going to be everything sweets related. This freezer always has a lot of ice cream or gelato as well as individually wrapped treats. I tend to purchase little boxes of fun frozen treats without realizing we already have plenty. Hopefully by using this acrylic divided container, inventory will be easier to see, which will result in less impulse ice cream purchases. This freezer came with two built-in drawers, which are great. The first one has all of the frozen fruit. There is still a significant amount of space left over in that drawer, so I will likely add other items to it. And the second drawer has the frozen veggies, which is an item that is always high in stock. Moving on to the freezer door, which surprisingly doesn't have much. The first shelf has the jade stone and rollers, and next to that is some super glue. The next shelf stores ice packs. I am headache prone and most times the only relief I get is from a cold pack, so I always keep these here ready to go. Now that everything has been filed away, let's add some vinyl labels. Labels act as a great set of instructions when taking items in and out of a space. These particular ones were cut out of vinyl using a silhouette machine and are my favorite type of label. They are applied to a container using a transfer tape and you are able to easily remove them later on down the road if you change your mind. There we have it, side-by-side freezer organization. I would love to know what tools you use to organize your freezer.